Connecting the SWAC, the MEAC, SIAC, and the CIAA. The HBCU experience lives here. It's the HBCU Report with Rob Calloway.
This is the HBCU Report. Rob Calloway back for a new year, 2017. Getting kicked off with a bang. It is officially Banduary right here on the HBCU Report. What is Banduary? Oh, you didn't? Oh, well, okay. I wouldn't expect you to know. I just made up Banduary. All right. What Banduary is, of course, we are in the month of January. We have the Honda Battle of the Bands coming up January 28th, 3 o'clock at the Georgia Dome, the 15th edition of the Honda Battle of the Bands. And so I just kind of combined the two because we'll be previewing the Honda Battle of the Bands each week leading up to the event right here on the show. And so I just kind of, play on words, Banduary. Yeah, well, like I said, it works for me. Hopefully it works for you. All right. And coming up on January 28th, we have Alabama State, Alabama A&M, Alcorn State, Benedict, Bethune-Cookman, North Carolina A&T, Texas Southern, and Winston-Salem State all going to be at the Georgia Dome for the 15th edition of the Honda Battle of the Band. So that's what Banduary is. So happy Banduary to you and yours. If your respective institution of higher learning, university band is being represented or is representing in the Honda Battle of the Bands, big shouts out to you. And if your band wasn't selected, hey, man, you need to step it up. No, I'm just playing. Oh, man. Well, it's good to be back for another year. The last time we were with you guys, we were previewing the second annual Celebration Bowl, the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl, where we saw Grambling State University take on North Carolina Central University in a game that was really, really, really good. Really good. Shouts out to Grambling State. Came out on the winning end. 10-9 was the final score in the Celebration Bowl, and Grambling State back on top of the HBCU football nation, if you will. And Broderick Fobbs and his coaching staff did a phenomenal job. And big shouts out to Jerry Mack and his coaching staff and his athletes over there at North Carolina Central. They played one heck of a game. The real deal was the officiating was a little suspect. I can't even lie. Now, I won't get fined or I won't have to sit down with anybody if I say it. But man, it was a lot of crazy officiating going on in that game. But big shouts out to both programs. Did really well. The TV ratings actually went up in comparison to last year. The numbers were slightly down at the Georgia Dome. But here's my thing. And I won't, dwell on this too long because, it's the past. But, I always like to look to the future because, I like to think of myself as a progressive thinker, if you will. And, the one thing about this event, it is a phenomenal event. Big shouts out to ESPN for backing this event, for making it happen. But here's the thing, and I'm not gonna go into the whole thing about all four of the major conferences, the HBCU conferences need to be included. Not even going to go there. But they do need to be included, but in a different way. If you listen, to this show in any of its forms, right here on Spreaker.com or when I was on CBS Radio's 1380 WAOK doing this show, if you listen, I've always pushed for some type of playoff. I've done it the past few weeks right here on this show. Push for a playoff where we could see SWAC, MEAC, SIAC, CIAA, possibly go head to head for a national championship. Okay. But this event is a celebration bowl. It's the celebration bowl. It's a celebration of HBCU football, of HBCU athletics, which in my mind means that it should, it should reflect just that. The celebration of the HBCU lifestyle, of the HBCU community. Well, here's the thing. The HBCU community is more than just the two schools representing in the football game. And yeah, well, I saw some sprinkles of some other people. I saw some folks I knew from Alabama A&M. I saw a couple folks from Bama State. I saw some folks with their FAMU gear on representing, but again, this was it wasn't even a handful. I could probably count each of these schools that were representing on one hand, maybe. It would be so awesome if there was some kind of way that all of these schools could be included. I mean, maybe you sell some tickets or give them some tickets at the school so that the kids will come, or you got to figure out a way to make every HBCU feel included so that we can truly celebrate. This is something that could be done. And the Georgia Dome, well, it'll be moving to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the new home of the Atlanta Falcons, next football season. But this is an event that if it's truly a celebration, if we're truly going to celebrate the HBCU community, the lifestyle, the athletics, the bands, all of that, everything that is HBCU, there has to be a way that these universities, or the alumni chapters, if you will, for these respective universities, maybe right here in Metro Atlanta or the surrounding areas, have to be included. Bama State needs a section. A&M needs a section. FAMU needs a section. Arkansas Pine Bluff. You get what I'm saying? Or maybe just a SWAC section and a MEAC section, and then you just have all the folks from the different universities sitting in their conference section. And again, SIAC, CIAA, include everybody. Have sections. So then every university or every conference can represent and truly celebrate. I'm telling you, this thing, I promise you, I'm not just blowing smoke. Every university wants to feel like they're a part of this, even though their teams might not be playing. So that's how you do it. You got to create sections and sell those tickets. Give those tickets away. I mean, you can give some tickets away. I'm sorry. You can give some tickets away. Every ticket doesn't have to be sold. The Atlanta Falcons, while the Atlanta Falcons, have thousands of fans in the stadium week in and week out, they give away a lot of tickets. I mean, that's just something that you're going to have to do. But that's it. I just wanted to say that little piece. I'm not trying to recreate the wheel and be like, oh yeah, next year you got to have a 4-team playoff. No. All I'm saying is everybody needs to be included so that we can truly celebrate. And this thing will be beautiful on ESPN or on ABC. It'll be beautiful. Do you hear what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. This is the HBCU Report. I am Rob Calloway. We are powered by sportsnewsandbrews.com, your official source for sports, black news, political news, and the latest on your favorite craft beers. In addition to Spreaker, you can also hear the HBCU Report via iTunes, the TuneIn Radio app, and Google Play Music for Android. Yeah, I just had to get that out, man. A lot of things going on in the HBCU sports world since we last joined you. Robert Mathis announced his retirement from the National Football League after a lengthy career. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig up the interview I did with Robert Mathis maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It was an interview that I did with him. And we just talked about, his roots. He grew up right here in Atlanta, where this show originates from. He attended McNair High School. From McNair High School, he went to Alabama A&M. And Alabama A&M was actually the only school to actually offer Robert Mathis a football scholarship. And so after he went to Alabama A&M, the rest is history. And so, I'm going to dig that interview up and going to put it up on sportsnewsandbrews.com and also Spreaker, so you can go back and hear Rob, as they call him. That's my boy right there. 14 seasons with the Indianapolis Colts. Man, that's crazy. It doesn't even seem like it's been that long. But I'm going to dig that interview up. But big shouts out to Robert Mathis. A long, lengthy career. A few things happen right there at the end, that he might not want to have to relive or talk about. But overall, damn good football player, good dude, all of that. Also this week, Cam Newton's little brother. I don't know if you know about Kalen Newton, but Cam Newton's little brother is, one of the top football players here in Metro Atlanta. Actually threw for over 3,000 yards, 33 touchdowns this past football season. Toted the rock 92 times for over 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns for Grady High School. He actually committed to Howard this week. So big shouts out to Howard. That's the kind of injection, if you will, that HBCU sports need. Because this kid can ball. So we'll see how it works out for him at Howard. But, God. I don't know all the teams that were actually going after this guy. But I know he was a baller. Know he was in the newspaper every week. Know he was on we have this thing called High Five Sports here in Atlanta. Yeah. They always featured Kalen Newton. So big shouts out to him. Big shouts out to Howard University as well. I'm just glad to be back, man. Gonna get back into the swing of things. It's been crazy. Trying to get back into, the routine, having taken a few weeks off that were much needed, man. I took a few weeks off from everything. I can't lie. I had a nice little vacation from work, nice little vacation from reality, everything. I just totally chilled out. So we're back and, the old cliche, back and better than ever. I hate to use that, but that's what I feel like we're doing right now. Don't forget to follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at HBCU Report. Coming up on this week's edition of the HBCU Report, here in the next few weeks, as I mentioned, January 28th, the 15th edition of the 100 Battle of the Bands gets underway, and it is officially Banduary. Right here on the HBCU Report. And so we're going to kick off our preview of the 100 Battle of the Bands. Professor H.O.A. Johnson, the Director of Bands at Benedict College, the Marching Tigers Band of Distinction, will be making their first appearance at the 100 Battle of the Bands January 28th. Then Carlton Wright, the Director of Bands at Alabama A&M University, the Marching Maroon and White, who've been to Atlanta many a times to participate in the 100 Battle of the Bands, will be making their return. And so we'll talk with Carlton. And next week, we have two college all-star games coming up, the Dream Bowl and the HBCU Spirit of America Bowl, which take place in Virginia Beach. And so the CEO of Cutting Edge Sports, the host of both of these games, Neil Malvone, joins us when we return right here on the HBCU Report. We are powered by SportsNewsandBrews.com, your official source for sports, black news, political news, and the latest on your favorite craft beers. And we will be right back after these words.
It's the HBCU Report with Rob Calloway.
I heard on the news about that 5-year-old who found his uncle's gun. The kid didn't know it was loaded.
I heard on the news about that 14-year-old girl who was bullied online. For like a year, she couldn't take it anymore, so she got her dad's gun from his nightstand.
I heard on the news about that guy who broke into someone's house, stole a gun from the hall closet.
He accidentally shot his cousin in the head.
She killed herself.
And later, killed the owner of the store he was trying to rob.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearms storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
Follow the HBCU Report on Twitter. Become a fan on Facebook at HBCU Report. This is the HBCU Report with Rob Calloway.